Miners against Cornell's Jack Cascadden, who's won over 55% of his draws. Zach Vigu in the Spider net. The Spiders are in white. Wyatt Noost is in the goal for the Big Red down to our left.
And right off the bat, we're going to be keeping a watch on the Faceoff X throughout the day. You know, the statistic that jumps off the page at you is Richmond, you know, facing off at 38%. I would say though that one is that it hasn't felt like that in some of their big games. I was at the Virginia game where it was more 50-50, and see how that plays out.
7th goal of the year for Lucas Olston. Cascadden again against Dicenso. Again, it's a 3v3 ground ball, but we get loose ball hold, possession Cornell.
The way you might in almost anybody else. They have a way of finding him. He catches balls in traffic, and he's going to finish those opportunities. I mean, right now, you know, he's shooting at you know, almost 70%, which is, you know, Villanova, Georgetown basketball numbers. And having Jared Chenoy come out and take his first face-offs of this 2025 season, that could prove to be a big help over the course of this game.
Chenoy against Cascadden. And Chenoy with the clean win in traffic. Spider possession. For Aiden O'Neill, and it's 3-1.
Jared Chenoy pays dividends right off the bat.
So an assist on his second draw of the campaign. And O'Neill with his first goal of the day. Spiders up 3-1. We were talking about transition lacrosse earlier, Dom, and an example right there off the face-off win.
Yeah, and like I say, you know, a good lacrosse team has to take advantage of those situations, and so that's what you're seeing from Richmond. And already, Cornell's gone to their second face-off guy. I don't think it's we have enough of a sample to say that there's a trend here, one way or the other. But Chenoy has already you know, helped them out.
Oh, violation there against Richmond. Michael Miller
for Richmond, but you don't want that to be the only one. And Merklinger and Littlejohn may not be so much of a factor dodging, and so they invert and put their short stick there.
Melkonian, clean face-off win, but he's turned away by Vigu. And it's starting 5-1, but they are not used to not having the 5. Chenoy again against Melkonian. And the team ground ball scooped up by Stull for Richmond.
You see him as a passer and as a feeder, but the good ones can do both things, and he's one of those. He's going to be able to finish those kind of opportunities right there.
Cascadden and Dicenso. Cascadden the front door win, and he has a go, and just scored his 4th of the year to make it 6-3.
I think Dicenso might have lost a shoe getting back in there on defense.
Cascadden Jr. out of Garden City, New York. Won a couple out the front door against Denver last weekend. And all of a sudden, the momentum has shifted here.
Yeah, and there's going to be some ebb and flow in all of these games, and you got to be able to endure that, and then get it back in your favor. That's what experience and confidence can give you.
Kirsch comes up with that ground ball win off a spirited face-off.
Now we kind of settle into a back and forth game here.
Cascadden and Chenoy at the dot. And Chenoy able to goose it back to Dunham, and his pass scraped off the turf by T.J. Lamb. Here's Long, now Goldstein.
Bleeding a little bit, gives you a chance to catch your breath.
Dicenso against Cascadden. A spirited scrum. Walker Wallace trying to dig it out for the Big Red.
Lacrosse is a beautiful game, isn't it?
This is a chair fight. Tommy Stoll comes up with a ground ball win for the Spiders. And again, the Spider lead shaved to 2. Dicenso against Cascadden, who came up with a face-off win.
I was one who never liked to slide off of that attackman at X because he changes the field and it just changes the complexion of where you are defensively.
Clean face-off win for Cascadden, but his pass eluded Kirst. Smith with a ground ball pickup. And Kirst with the check. Smith recovers. He was able to fight through traffic and got the ball to Braden Penifetter Stevenson. Second goal of the game, 7th of the year. 8-6 Richmond, 3:59 remaining in the first half. Cascadden against Chenoy, and again it's a win out the front door, but Cascadden couldn't squeeze it. And we get a whistle off of that ground ball goose. And a loose ball push Richmond. Spiders surrendering possession here.
Standard.
C.J. Kirst with his 20th goal of the year. Just under 6 seconds remaining in the half. It's a 1-goal game. Cascadden and Chenoy. And Chenoy with the face-off win. And he'll play a little chuck and duck here as the first half comes to an
You know, and I think we're in tune here for a great second half.
Vigu in the Spider goal, Richmond in the home white. Noost in the goal for Cornell, and Cascadden wins the second half opening face-off. First possession, Big Red.
To Cornell's middies.
Jared Chenoy making his season debut today for the Spiders. At the dot against Jack Cascadden. That's scooped up by the local boy, Walker Wallace. Then knocked loose, and that eluded Jason Sick. At the face-off dot, it's Chenoy and Cascadden. 13-6 face-off advantage for Cornell today. Cascadden wins that one out the front door. Lays it off for Long, and Kirst unable to squeeze that pass, and the Spiders come up with a ground ball.
In the goal for him, and you know, with your starting attack 3 or 4 games into the season, you know, you need a little bit more scoring production.
Cascadden wins another face-off, but Vigu denies him the goal.
So it's going to be a really interesting here fourth quarter.
Cascadden and Chenoy. Cascadden's had a pretty good day. This one turns into a 3v3 ground ball. Walker Wallace took a couple of stabs at it. Whistle and possession Richmond. 3. Cascadden and Chenoy, and a whistle, and it's a violation against Richmond. But Chenoy will not take the next face-off. That's the new rule, is up points, the nation's leader.
I feel like I've been hearing Michael Long's name for a long time, you know, and with all these COVID years and extra years that players get, it could be that some of these guys have been around for a while.
Ground ball pickup for Anthony Dicenso on that face-off. And the Spiders now up by 2 with possession. They've been trying to dig themselves out of that hole ever since. They are back to within a goal. As Jack Cascadden, who's had a big day at the face-off dot, takes the draw against Chenoy and wins it out the front door.
I thought what you saw in the last, and now the face-off piece is pivotal. 5 minutes to play. You know, you want to win the face-offs, obviously, but it's really what happens in the last few minutes of a game, or when a game is being decided, whether or not you can get the ball back.
And Noost coming up with the team ground ball off that face-off.
Talk is that you know, there's no reason to panic here. You need to, obviously, to win a face-off would be great, but you're still going to have time to get the ball back.
Cascadden takes it against Dicenso and wins it. Now it's Long for the Big Red, and